What's up, y'all? Coming at you from Kabukicho, Shinjuku once again. Yo, check out the fit. Check out the fit. Got the fit rocking tonight. First time I dressed up in months, bro. But figured I'm filming a video for you guys. I don't really care too much about impressing people, but I'm trying to impress the fans. Trying to have the fans recognize, you know, how daddy can drip, daddy can dress sometimes. So here we are. Now I'm just kidding, this is literally the only, well, I might have like one or two more like okay outfits, but other than this, I'm usually dressed like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. So I'm gonna take a walk through Kabukicho here. Try not to film the homeless people. I was actually filming a video here last time and some dude came up to me and stopped me. He was like, please be careful when you're filming around this area because you might get the homeless people on camera and that's pretty rude. And I mean, fair enough. I do feel kind of like, okay, they're in the middle of one of the most crowded public spaces in the fucking world and they can go to a lot of different places, but I'll respect their wishes. I'm a gentleman. As I always say, I'm a gentleman. You guys know. I made a video about how I got to Japan. I talked about how the government needs to approve your bank account, needs to approve that you have enough money to support yourself if you're coming to Japan. So they check your bank account, they check your funds or your supporters' funds, whoever is sponsoring you to come here. And people were wondering, like, how did you save that much fucking money on your own, being a loser? I'm a loser, right? With no skills. Like, I don't have a degree, I don't have any type of certifications, I don't have that forklift certification, anything like that. I mean, I have an associate's degree from community college, but as you all know, that's worth basically nothing. But I don't have a bachelor's degree, I don't have any type of special skills, anything, but I managed to save like $36,000 completely on my own. Now, granted, as I said before, I was lucky enough to live at my parents' house until I was like 24 or something like that, but then for the last year before I came to Japan, I lived on my own. I will say though, like, my family was not super well off. They never did anything for me, like in terms of financially. Like I said, I paid for half of my college on my own. I mean, maybe that's more than some people got, but I paid for half of my college on my own. And dude, my mom never, since high school, my mom, like, outside of birthdays and special events, my mom never cooked a meal for me. I bought all my own groceries, I cooked all my own food. Like, I didn't get anything. So anyways, you guys get the idea. Getting out the mud on my own, getting it out the mud. How I managed to save $36,000 completely on my own with no skills is actually pretty simple. And I feel like generally amongst men, I mean, maybe amongst women it's a little better, but generally amongst men, I'm gonna say in America, I'm gonna keep this video to Americans, and if you live in America, because like I said, I don't have a bunch of knowledge about the rest of the world and obviously, so amongst men in America, especially in their 20s, you guys buy a bunch of dumbass shit that you don't need. I'm talking eating out all the time is like the biggest one. Eating out all the time, dudes, learn to cook. It's so fucking easy to cook. I can even make a video for you guys about how to cook cheap meals, where to shop to get cheap food. Guys, go to Walmart, go to Aldi, learn to cook. I'm not Gordon Ramsay, for fuck's sake, but at least I can cook a chicken breast, some broccoli and rice, and it's healthy and it's cheap. So guys, learn to cook is number one, biggest thing. Number two, stop buying bullshit clothes and brands that are super expensive that you don't need to impress people who you don't know and that don't know you, and at the end of the day don't really give a fuck about you. A lot of people are fiending over the Supreme drop or the new Nikes. You guys are standing out in line. Meanwhile, you can't even afford lunch for the rest of the week, but you're standing out in line in front of the Nike store waiting for the drop to buy the shoes. Like, get some fucking sense. Additionally, this is another big one. People always ask me, why don't you have any tattoos? You're an alternative guy, you're into music, you're in a band, you should totally have tattoos. Why don't you like tattoos? Dude, I love tattoos. I would love to have tattoos. But here's the thing, they have zero practical use for me, no practical benefit for me. If I was rich, would I have tattoos? Dude, I'd be covered in them. I think they look sick. I think they're super cool. I would love to have a bunch of tattoos, but I just can't fucking justify it at this point in my life when my income isn't stable, when I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. Why the fuck would I spend hundreds of dollars on something that doesn't practically benefit me at all? You people that are buying your Starbucks coffees every day, dude, go to Aldi or whatever, get a giant fucking bucket of Folgers or Maxwell House, whatever it is, and cook that shit every day. Oh my God, it's not Starbucks. Like, dude, shut up. You still get the same benefit. At the end of the day, it all tastes like shit anyways. Just in general, like I said, buying shit that you don't need. If you guys really need to have like a nice fit or something to impress people, dude, you can go thrifting and you can buy clothes that are way cheaper than average clothes, and you can get cool fits. It just takes a little bit more work. So like, go thrifting. I mean, I didn't even care about that, dude. I just wore like, literally, and any of my friends can vouch for me on this, I literally wore clothes that like my grandma and my parents would buy me for Christmas that obviously are dorky as fuck, but like I said, dude, I'm not super worried about impressing people. I'm not trying to look good for people. So also, you can go to H&M. H&M is actually like pretty cheap. So if I ever did buy anything nice, like this entire fit is from H&M, and H&M's like decently cheap, if you know what I'm talking about. So guys, don't be buying a bunch of bullshit. What'd I say? Learn how to cook. Your car also, like, you guys don't need a brand new car to impress chicks and to impress people that you don't fucking know anyways. Buy a used car. Learn some skills in the meantime, fixing up your used car. I know it's gonna break down on you occasionally. I did for years and years and years. I had a shitty old car. It broke down on me once a month, and even though that sucked, I took it upon myself to fix that car on my own, and I was learning super serious life skills and saving money at the same time. Learn how to cook. Same thing for learning how to cook. Not only is it saving you money, but you're learning a super important life skill. Like, for so many reasons. You're being healthier probably. You're learning how to cook. You want to impress girls, you can impress girls with learning how to cook, man. I mean, I'm sure there's a million other things that I can think of, but the number one biggest thing, actually, I would say, of how I managed to save so much money is, this goes for Americans. Keep in mind, this goes for Americans. This is strictly an American thing. Guys, get a well-paying job that doesn't require a degree, such as working for tips. I worked as a server in the restaurant industry. Now, I recognize that tips are, I believe, strictly an American thing. I don't know if they do that anywhere else in the world. If I'm wrong, somebody comment down below and tell me where else they do tips. But the reason that so many adults with kids and everything are servers in America is because the money's fucking good, dude. You can get so much money off of just serving, dude. You can walk in at 5 p.m., leave at 9 p.m., work legit 4 hours. Now, given those 4 hours, you're gonna be at your wit's end, you're gonna be running like a chicken with your head cut off, but you could walk in at 5 p.m., leave at 9 p.m. with goddamn near $400 in your pocket in cash at the end of the night. And I think there's a lot of guys, I mean, maybe girls too, but like I said, I'm just talking about my friends and what I know. I try not to talk about things that I don't really know about, but there are a lot of guys that are comfortable in jobs just because they've been in that job and just because it's comfortable. Guys, comfortability is the devil's work. The more you settle with being comfortable, the more you're going to be mediocre, you're going to fail in life. You guys need to get uncomfortable. I know firsthand from personal experience that finding a new job is not easy. Being the new guy at a new job sucks ass. Being everybody's bitch sucks ass. But guys, you cannot settle for some shitty job paying you $12 an hour just because it's what you're in and it's comfortable and they let you do whatever you want there. Like, bro, shut up. You know what lets you do whatever you want? Money. Get a new job and find some fucking money. Guys, you can quit your goddamn retail job where you're folding t-shirts all day and you're the big man on campus there that you've been working at for 5 years since high school, and you can go start serving tables at IHOP, like literally a cheap ass place like IHOP, and you could be making twice what you're making at your dumbass retail job. If you're working at McDonald's, making fries, doing whatever, like I said, it's just, and you're just there because that's what you've done for a long time and they let you do whatever you want, guys, you need to quit that shit. I'm sure there are other jobs where you can make plenty of money that aren't serving or restaurant service related, but this, like I said, I'm just talking off personal experience. I worked at the place called Panera Bread. It was like a little bakery cafe. I made sandwiches and I did prep and I occasionally did the register. I did that since I was in high school. I did it for 4 years and I was doing it for whatever, like 3 years after high school, strictly because it was comfortable and they let me do whatever I want. They loved me there. They didn't give a fuck what I did. And it was comfort, and I knew I could have been making more money other places, but I don't want to leave it. Like I said, getting into a new job is a bunch of stress. But my brother kept telling me, like, dude, you can make way more money than this, even just being a host at a restaurant, because you can get the tip share, you can get the tip pool, or you can bust tables and you can get the tip pool. Like, man, you gotta change up, man. You gotta change up your shit if you want to move along in life. And I was like, all right, you know what, fuck it. I eventually had enough. I quit my job and I went just hosting and being a busboy at this goddamn restaurant, and they immediately had me at $15 an hour plus tips, which was crazy. So, I mean, my tips weren't that huge, but I was walking with like $16 a night, or $16 an hour every night, as opposed to Panera Bread where I was making like $11.50 and I had been there for 4 years. And there were a bunch of high school girls and guys working with me. They were doing that in high school. I just found out about this when I was like 20 years old, 21 years old. I was like, man, why didn't I do this before? And then I start seeing the servers, and all the servers are coming in at 5 p.m. and leaving at 9:30, 10 p.m. with pockets full of cash, $200 to $300 every single night. Some servers talking about getting $500, you know, popping wine bottles, doing wine service, all that. I'm like, dang, that looks super stressful, but that money's probably worth it. So I begged the managers, man, please let me serve. I gotta serve. I know I can do this. They eventually let me serve. And dude, like I said, on a busy night, you're walking with like at least $300. Now, given on a weeknight, whatever, you're still walking home with cash, like $150, $200, sometimes more than $200 on a weeknight. Easy, bro, cash. And that was years ago. That was, you know, whatever, like 5 years ago at this point. So inflation, of course, has done its job, and it'll probably be more than that at this point. So I recognize if you're in high school and you're watching this, you might not be able to get a job actually serving because there's alcohol involved, and I don't know, it's different. It's different based on different states, and some states have rules where, like, if you're not 18 or you're not 21, you can't be serving because alcohol is involved. But guys, if you're 21 and you're folding t-shirts at the mall just because it's what you've done and it's what you know, guys, quit that job, find a serving job, ideally at a place that's busy, maybe even at a place that's nice, like a little fancy, so they have high menu prices. Dude, even if it's at fucking IHOP, you're gonna be making more money, I guarantee you that. I'm not gonna bullshit, I'm not gonna beat around the bush, I'm gonna tell you exactly how much I was making at the last place I worked at. First I worked at a fine dining place, like a nice steakhouse, and then I went and I worked at a sports bar. At this sports bar, given a lot of the seating was outside, so during the winter months it wasn't as crazy, but for this summer, I shit you not, you'd work a lunch, so you'd get in at 10 a.m. and you'd leave at 3 p.m. and you would average like $250. Oftentimes I left with like $315 working a lunch for like 5 hours. I would come in there and I'd be out by 3 p.m. and I'd be walking with over $300, man. I shit you not. Now, like I said, given that was at a pretty busy restaurant in a very nice neighborhood where people had a lot of money, but especially if you can find a restaurant in a neighborhood that has like, where people have a lot of money, guys, take advantage. And so anyways, I moved into a shitty little one-room apartment. I had a used car. I was paying $730 per month for rent. I was cooking all of my meals. The last time I went clothes shopping was like 5 years before. I wasn't buying anything I didn't need. I grocery shopped every day. I cooked all my food. And I would go in and I'd work a lunch and I'd come home with $300. Or some days I worked a double. I worked the lunch and I get $300, and then I work the night and I get $300 more. Dude, I'm walking home with fucking $600 in cash. Now, given those were the good nights, but even, all right, let's put an average day. Like 150 on a busy summer day, I'm walking around like $200 for lunch, and for night like $250. Guys, even fuck all that. If you're walking with $300 in cash, and then you're getting a check every 2 weeks, you need to be doing that. Quit your dumbass job at the mall because you like to flirt with high schoolers. Put your boner away. Put your creamy ass back in your pants and go find a better job. If you live in America, find a job where you can get tips, work in the service industry, apply to places in nice towns where the people have money, where the people know how to tip. And other than that, dude, I didn't do anything special. I just saved my money like that all the time. I just fucking grinded. I picked up the extra shifts. I picked up the closing shifts because they would send all the rest of the servers home, and then you just get all the tables, and you get kind of overwhelmed, you get kind of swamped with business, but you get all those end of the night tables, all the drinkers that are coming in, they're wasted, they're just throwing cash around at that point. Guys, you gotta do it. And additionally, if it's not enough to convince you to start a serving job just based on the money and the freedom, you learn so many life skills. I am totally one of those people that believes everyone, well, I mean, not everyone, but I do think it would be nice if everyone at some point worked a service industry job just to see what it's like to deal with people. You learn crazy skills like multitasking skills. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to shoot the shit with people. You learn how to make guests laugh and, you know, just make camaraderie with people. You learn patience. You learn what it's like to be a server when you have crazy ass drunk guests and asshole guests and everything's going fucking nuts. Like, the patience you learn is absolutely insane. The multitasking skills you learn are absolutely insane. You learn about food. You learn what a good steak is. Like, I am completely a changed person. There are a lot of things in my life that have turned me into a man, I will say, and have shaped me and molded me into the guy that I want to be. And I definitely contribute a large part of that to working in a restaurant and learning how to serve. Guys, I learned about wine. I don't even drink, but I learned about wine. I learned about steaks. I learned all about food, seeing the cooks cook every day, learning the menu, having to explain to guests the way we cook things and why different things are seasoned with different things, how to pair wines, entrees. Like, leave me, take it from me. It's worth it. Be careful though, I will say, quick disclaimer, be careful. Do not be the guy that gets stuck there, because although the service industry is great, you can make a bunch of money very fast. It's not super stable. Based on seasons, money comes and goes. In most places, you don't have the type of benefits that you do at large corporations with stable income. Like, you're probably not gonna get your insurance or whatever paid for. So it's a little unstable, but guys, if you're a young person, you gotta take advantage, but do not get stuck in that and be the guy that's 38, hopping around from restaurant to restaurant, talking about how many skills you have and how you're a rock star and everybody should hire you on, and you don't even need to be trained, you can just hop right in because you can, you know, whatever. So guys, take it from me. Get your shit right. Start saving your money. Stop buying bullshit that you don't need. And start working at a better job. Start picking up those hours. At the end of the day, missing one night a week to play Xbox with your boys and fap over Apex Legends, you're not gonna miss it like you're gonna miss the opportunities that you can create working that 5 extra hours a week, picking up that extra shift, and building a future for yourself. I'm here in fucking Japan because of what I did. So, I mean, if you guys want to keep drinking your Starbucks coffee every day, getting a million tattoos, buying weed, holy shit, guys. Buying fucking weed is so expensive. And most of you guys, I know you do not need that shit. You do not need to be smoking weed every fucking day. That is a crutch. It's turning you into a goddamn bum. Stop smoking weed all the time. Stop buying your Starbucks coffees. Stop waiting outside a goddamn Nike for the next drop. Stop buying those goddamn Supreme headbands and get a fucking better paying job. Take the jump. Be the bottom bitch at a new job for a while. Go through the awfully painful training experience, guys, and just take the dive, because it's worth it and you will change your life, I promise you. Anyways, I'm Yungjamez, YUNGJAMEZ. I'm here in Tokyo. This is what I did, man. This is what I did with the saving that I did. So follow me on Instagram, guys. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm responding to everybody right now. I'm getting new followers every day. It's awesome. I love hearing from you guys. Everybody that messages me and everybody that follows me are super fucking handsome and super sexy. I look at all your profiles. You guys are the best. Please message me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok if you want, yungjamez_x, yungjamez_. Guys, I make music under the name violeteyez. That's one word with a Z at the end, not an S. Please hit me up, guys. We're going to the top. This is YouTube 2K23. The future of YouTube, man. The next Mr. Beast. The next Ray William Johnson. You guys already know what it is, man. Fuck with me. Fuck you, Gumby.